Here we're having examples of if statements in Bash shell syntax. Note that the class slides use TC shell. And for the examples that I show, I use Bash to expose you to both of these. There's slight syntax differences. Here you will see that in the Bash syntax, we use square brackets. There's a space, and then there's a test, closing square bracket, then the then keyword with some commands, and we terminate an if statement with phi here. The rest of the example is the same. So we set the variable day, and note that there's no set key that's necessary here. Day to the current day of the week. We test whether it is Thursday. If it is Thursday, then we release a new package. If it is Saturday or Sunday, we say it's the weekend. Note that for this test here, we have one test, closing square brackets. Then we have the or combination of conditions, and then we have our second condition here. Then we echo weekend, otherwise we deal with other stuff. We close the first if statement, and then we close the larger second if statement. So if we go out of the editor here, I'll just clear this up, and we execute the if example.sh, we get that we're getting a new package. That's great. Let's check what the date function gives us. So this is what I'm using internally here, right? Cat if example.sh. So to get at the day, I am using the date function. I am redirecting its output into a command that's awk, and that gives me some of the input that is called $1. All of these details are explained in later videos. If we just look at date here, again, this is September 14th. This machine runs on UTC time. It is 8:15 p.m. If I now reproduce the magic syntax here and I say arc print $1, I get Thursday. I say 2, I get September. 3 is 14. 4 is time, and so forth. This is interesting. That should provide you some intuition, hopefully, that this awk command somehow splits up the input by white spaces and assigns the contents of each block that's separated by white spaces to an internal variable name that just as using numbers. So that's what we're doing here. Today is Thursday. If we were to change this, if example, and just say here that today is Saturday, re-execute this, and it is the weekend. If only it was as easy as that. Moving to Python, here we have the same example, just in a Jupyter notebook environment. And again, setup is all the same. If we execute this, it says new package. That is today. It's Thursday, day 3. If we, again, set this to 5 here and re-execute it, then it would be the weekend. There's our new output. If it is 0, we deal with other stuff, right? So I hope this makes sense. We can obviously change the conditions in these if statements and so forth. But overall, this is how we set up if statements in the shell and in Python.